The results take so long to come in U.S. elections is because the ballots are so big. It's not just the president, it's not just your congressman or your senator, it's also all of the local elected officials, and a bunch of propositions get added on. So prop this and prop that, which can be anything. But there were some really serious ones in this election, and some of them were actually voted through. So now it is legal to use marijuana recreationally in Washington State and Colorado. Gay marriage was approved by Maine and Maryland by popular vote. So I wouldn't put those on the same plane necessarily, but interesting developments. Colorado, snowboarders, seems like a good fit.
I think what's interesting about the model, Amanda, is actually the fiscal discipline it's going to bring into the state taxation system. Think about this. If you can actually tax that commodity the same way you tax liquor, you can make hundreds of millions of dollars, and at the same time, that's revenue. You cut your costs in the penal system. You don't throw people in jail for 10 years and have to keep them there for $750,000 a year.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting business plan, and I like it. I tell you, this is something that we should be looking at in Canada. Many other states are going to adopt this, and of course, it's going to reduce a lot of costs and bring in tons of revenue.
Yeah.
And you can regulate, and not that I would know this, but at least you would get to buy the right grade of marijuana. I mean, well, obviously, Amanda, when you were young, you probably smoked the...
I actually didn't. I smoked tobacco, which arguably is worse for you. But
you never inhaled, I guess, eh?
I just never really liked any of that stuff. But the problem with this kind of thing is not whether it's good or bad, because marijuana may be, in fact, less harmful than tobacco in all kinds of ways. It's that it's just one state. And so what about all of the other states around it that still want it to be illegal? Unless it's, and Canada couldn't do this without the U.S. because we share a continent. You kind of all have to do it at the same time. Otherwise it becomes mayhem and you create black markets that are growing it and selling it to the places where it's legal.
Forget about all that, Amanda. This is all going to be about money. When the states around Colorado see how much income they're bringing in once they've legalized this fully, they're going to become very on board for this program because they need money. Every state is bankrupt, technically.
I don't know that this means the state's going to sell it or tax it. It just means that you won't go to jail for smoking, which I agree with you will still save money because people go to jail needlessly over smoking marijuana, and they're not, you know, huge criminals or part of a drug racket. But I don't think that there's any plan to tax it per se.
This is part of a three-step program. Watch it happen. Make it illegal first. Secondly, institutionalize the growing of it. In other words, give licenses for growing it, give distribution licenses for packaging it, give retail licenses for selling it.
Yeah.
Charge 25% taxes in each state, bring in $1 billion a year. That's the number you can bring in a state like that. Believe me, I've been looking at the numbers. This is going to be a very interesting investment opportunity for many people who can get those licenses. And all kinds of people are looking at this opportunity.
All right.
This is better than alcohol.
Let's talk about some post-election issues that affect Canada directly. Keystone, Obama punted this to after the election, but didn't really give any indication that he wouldn't necessarily approve it. He may have to work